Skip. But when does this game get good?
Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be continuing our Dahlia continuation. This is our breakdown portion. We are going to be showing her off in some PvP. Again, we're running Noblewoman's Guile, Dice Array, speed gear set, trying to prioritize that speed as much as possible. Realistically, I'm not going to be going after anything that I deem too easy like this. The biggest problem that you're going to have when you're running a team with Dahlia is you're going to run into a lot of problem when you're facing against Nella. Nella is really good about keeping that immunity on her team, and it's very hard to break through once she starts that immunity, and it's really hard to cripple her and her team. However, if you can get it going fast enough and you can melt the Nella, you'll be fine. So what we're actually going to try, I don't really want to deal with Nella. That is probably one of her weakest spots, is dealing with Nella, and especially dealing with Gnosis Nella. I don't like dealing with them. This is the team. Shiro, if you want to, you can take a minute and at the beginning of the video, if you did it already, I don't know if you did, you can show the team off. I'll send you, hopefully there'll be a graphic about the team and what gear they're using and everything else in the video, so you guys can kind of see how the team is working together. From this point on, probably my biggest worry is probably this Nadia here. Nadia already got frozen, and so she couldn't make her turn. The Stella is going to be annoying, but the Stella is also going... Gnosis Dahlia is going to be great for dealing with the Stella. So we're going to focus this Nadia down, because she can do a lot of damage really quickly. Now that the Nadia is down, I'm probably just going to drop the AoE, because I don't really need to worry. Like, obviously, yeah, we have to eat this counterattack. And see, Dahlia's gone now. See, Dahlia was gone after just a single hit. Which is the one downside about Dahlia. She is really squishy. She's very fast. She does some good shutdowns. She's just really squishy. Like I said before, you do want to prioritize that speed stat. You want to be sure your debuffs are hitting, so hitting a good accuracy and effectiveness is really good for you. Let's see. This top team, seeing this team, I don't want to really deal with it with Gnosis Nella here. Again, Gnosis Nella, probably one of your weaker spots. I'm okay with fighting this team. I don't know if my Dahlia will outspeed the Tamara, but we can definitely find out. If we can outspeed the Tamara, we have a really good chance here. If not, I think we lose this one, but we really need to outspeed that Tamara. We do. We do outspeed the Tamara. She just has increased effectiveness, which means she's wearing an effectiveness gear. No immunity sets. Should freeze everybody. There we go. We did. The only one that wasn't frozen is Meva. Meva has a really high resilience, so it's going to be hard to freeze her. I want to get rid of this Tamara immediately, because Tamara will increase our cooldowns, which makes it hard for us to do kind of anything. So we definitely want to get rid of her. But now that she's basically going to die, we can drop an AoE now. And I'm not too worried about it. That is going to be slightly a bit of a problem, because her coming back is a pain. However, that's another reason why we bring Christina. Christina will revive, or Christina will give us a defense and attack boost when Demiurge Aste revives, because it procs whenever she gets whenever a non-attack skill works. So like Valentine's crit buff, Aste's revive, those kinds of things. We might be able to absolute zero the Aste, I'm not sure. She is really squishy. Cool, we were. So we were able to get rid of the Demiurge Aste with that. We just have to eat this for the most part. Again, Dahlia is dead. Dahlia is going to go down a good couple times when we do this. She's not our win condition. She is just our way of crippling the opponent to be able to use someone stronger like our Gnosis Dahlia and really just shut them down completely. That is Dahlia. Dahlia is supposed to show up, cripple them, then die. So seeing this top team, I do not want anything to do with this team. Demiurge Dracon is a really hard wall to break through. Gnosis Nella is really hard because of her revival mechanics and everything else. These two, when you see these two paired together, you don't want to run any kind of crowd control or any kind of shutdown team into them, because they will just out heal you, because they have a really high HP pool, and then their ability to get revives all the time is really obnoxious and really hard to deal with. And see, there they are again matching here. So if you see that and you're running a CC team like this team is, you don't want to play against that. So you'll basically avoid them at all cost. Now, if I was running something harder like Cleave, if I was running a more Cleave focused team, I would totally do that. Again, what is our biggest threat here? Veronica isn't really that big of a threat as long as we can kill the squishies. Noah can be kind of a threat, but we don't really have any we don't have any squishy blues, so I think we're okay. The Mava can do the revives, but her revives, she has to be on the field a couple times, and then she applies the revive as a buff. She doesn't just revive people. So our biggest threat right now is actually to get rid of this Gnosis Dahlia. And if you look at the speed, Gnosis Dahlia is a good bit faster, so this will be our first priority, is getting rid of this Gnosis Dahlia. Okay, so she's frozen, which means she cannot do her counterattack. She can't do her revenge prop. See, she can't do anything. So we're free to kind of do what we want to. There she goes. She's gone. We can drop. Look at that. Our Dahlia already got another turn. Dahlia already got another turn. So now it's just eliminating threats. We can get rid of the Veronica because Veronica is going to add in those dual attacks, and those dual attacks can be really annoying to deal with. And then the Mava has a shield, so we're just going to hit the Noah. And look, she gets to go again. Now we could remove those two buffs. Oh yeah. Oh, it removes the buffs on the target. That's right. I always forget that. It removes the buffs on the target that you click on. It doesn't remove the buffs from everybody, just the target. So, bam. Look at that, 27k. Did you see that? 27k on that. That's wild to me. Yep, so now it's just getting rid of the threats here. We get rid of the Noah. Now the Mava literally can't revive anybody because everyone's already dead. And there we go. There we go. Easy peasy. Again, we're going to start at the top. See, I don't like this team. This is a very scary team to play against, because this is how this team works. So you have Maxi, I believe it's Maxi. Hold on, is the blue one Maxi? I want to be sure that I'm right. Is the blue one Maxi? I'm like, am I blind? It is Roxy, my bad. So Roxy here procs with Rangers. 1, 2, 3. That is a lot of dual attacks. That's a lot of AoE attacks. So this team would absolutely shred me into tiny little pieces. If I can go first, this is a very squishy team to just absolutely obliterate. If I could freeze them, I could destroy them because of how squishy they are. One Gnosis Dahlia AoE, I think, kills them all. However, it's getting that opening. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look. Dahlia's base speed, she's the enchanter. I believe Dahlia's base speed is 98. We can now go and we can look here at Roxy. She has 124 speed because she is a wizard. So she, I believe, is actually going to be a little bit faster than Dahlia at base. However, her exclusive doesn't give her a speed bonus, which leads me to believe that we might actually be able to outspeed here and we could possibly win. I'm not entirely sure. I'm willing to try just to see. Let's find out. Either we're going to lose in the first turn or we're going to win pretty early on. Let's find out. So we definitely lost, I believe. Yep. See, there goes our win. So that's it, because they are just going to dual attack off of each other. We could still technically win. The chances of that happening are very low now, though. That Vlada was so fast. That Vlada was so incredibly fast. Genuinely, that was just a Gnosis Dahlia carry. Gnosis Dahlia just flat out carried that. They couldn't do enough damage one after the other, because she only takes a certain amount of damage from a certain period of time. This middle one I'm concerned about because of the Gnosis Nella and the base Nella. However, seeing 97,000 leads me to believe that it might be a little bit easier than we think, but there's also Maxwell on the team, and most people just throw Maxwell on the team to be a meme. So we're gonna be very careful about this. Okay, so seeing this actually tells me that they are kind of built. Which, you know, in a situation like this, in my opinion, it's better to get rid of the Gnosis Nella first, because we can do that pretty easily, and then focus the base Nella down as fast as possible. If you can get rid of the base Nella, you're gonna be set, because base Nella can just give you those revives, and it's really annoying. But you need to get rid of that Gnosis Nella first, because if you don't get rid of that Gnosis Nella, you're not going to be able to get past it, because she's just going to stun lock you. Like what we're doing with our Dahlia, Gnosis Nella does technically do better. And so that's the problem, is that Gnosis Nella now does everything that base Dahlia did before better. And that's the predicament that we're in with wanting to try to use Dahlia in this meta, is that Dahlia here, while she does have the speed advantage, has a really hard time. Her stats just don't add up to be enough compared to Gnosis Nella. Because Gnosis Nella gets her attack power from her HP, it makes it very difficult to be able to do anything with. Because you can't. She's not as squishy. Because I mean, if you look at her health, mine as of right now has 13,000 health. You look at my Dahlia only has 8k. So my Gnosis Nella has 1.5 times the HP my Dahlia does, and is also missing gear, because this accessory is the same accessory. I just move it back and forth. So, I mean, you can look at her speed. Her speed's 260, right? If I unequip this and I give this to my Gnosis Nella, 224. So pretty comparable. Like, obviously that Dahlia is going to go first. If you really want to be worried about anti-Dahlia, you run like an immunity piece. The problem is that Gnosis Nella is going to be really fast and isn't really going to care, especially if you run her on a defensive team with base Nella. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. Nella's just going to get her revive up, and that's going to be it, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's why I don't like seeing the two Nellas together when I'm using my Dahlia. However, Dahlia is very strong. If you can find those opportunities to use her, she is definitely very strong. Another good use for her is if you're going to be running like a cleave team. For example, if you're going to run this Dahlia, you're going to run Gnosis Dahlia, and then you're going to run like maybe Ray. Ray's okay if you're worried about Ray. If you wanted to run, maybe Cannon's another good option. slap my 3 stars on. Cannon's a good option. Karin's a good option as well. If you wanted to run Demiurge Aste and just absolutely nuke something, you can run a cool team with Dahlia and Demiurge Aste. It's really strong. You get to freeze and then you can just nuke, as long as they don't have immunity gear, which is one of the biggest concerns with Dahlia, is that you have to be worried about immunity gear. Another cool person you can run with if you really want to, Demiurge Dracona is still a very strong character in this game. She is incredibly powerful in the right scenario. So you do have to kind of be careful though. You do kind of have to also build her right, and you do have to kind of get a little lucky, but it is still possible to use Demiurge Dracona with that team. Tamara is another good one. So if I wanted to theoretically turn this team into less of a bulk, like a CC bruiser team, it's more of a CC team, and I wanted to run this more of a cleave team, realistically I could just take this and I could run Demi Aste and slap Tamara on it. And now what you do is you build your Tamara up really high with speed. You can run Tamara to increase cooldowns, and then that way if you do run into an immunity person, you don't have to be too worried about it, because you're going to freeze everybody else. And then Tamara can take that person who's frozen, increase their cooldowns, and then they're still not going to be able to do anything, because you'll realistically see those immunity gears on your healer characters, like your Mavas, your Nellas, maybe your Christinas, and you'll also see it on Demi-Vlada. There'll be a couple Demi-Vladas that will run an immunity gear. Increasing anybody's cooldowns that fall into that scenario, especially like Mava, I mean, you won't be able to use your invincibility field if your cooldown's now 1 turn. You'll have to wait another turn in order to use it, and chances are your immunity's out. Dahlia's going to get 2 more turns before you can do anything, and that's just going to be the end of it. So it is a really strong team if you want to run a more cleave focused nature. I like the more CC kind, but if you do want to run a more cleaved focus, this is what I would recommend. My Tamara and my Demiurge Aste are pretty terrible, so do not even look at them. That's another reason why I went with the team that I did, was because they are at least a little bit more built up. So with that, I'm going to leave this one here. Thank you, Shio, for doing everything that you do, and thank you all of you for watching this video. Hope you found this entertaining, and maybe you learned a little bit about our blue-haired, yellow-eyed, yellow/red-eyed Archdemon of Hubris, Dahlia. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.